Hey, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Will coming back with an update video on AMC. And then I'm going to get back into moving averages. I know the original moving averages video I posted for you guys is one of the ones that got the most views, indicating to me that's the type of things you guys want to learn, basic fundamentals or things to look for in the fundamentals that'll help you make better financial decisions for yourself, right? But before that, let's get into it. So as you guys can see today in pre-market hours, we had a run up all the way up to $37.83 after yesterday's earning call. Again, shooting up originally right after earnings to 37, and then we peaked at like 1:30 in the morning in pre-market. Again, anything that happens in pre-market, we will always take with a grain of salt. Again, our active trading for retail traders, we do not participate in pre-market or aftermarket. There are some brokerages you can sign up to use that do allow you to trade in pre-market and aftermarket, but for example, Robinhood does not. Like, it's only during the market opens, which in my time zone specifically is from 6:30 to 1 p.m. But nonetheless, around 1:30 in the morning, we peaked to, what is that, $38.23. We rode that wave into the open market, and right at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, we went live. So as you see here, the blue line, this is the blue line we had labeled 3 videos back as a trend pattern, meaning we were trending in an upward momentum. Yesterday, we respected that line very, very well, as you guys can see here. I actually labeled it with this channel because, again, this would be a upward channel. So I wanted to identify it to call it out that we had respected this blue line very well. And about, what is that? 11:52, so right around the lunch hour, we finally broke through that support level and then started to go trend downward. As I had mentioned to you yesterday, 9% drop or 6% drop, and we would be at our level of support, which we see here, the white line at the bottom. We stayed a little bit above that, but currently we closed the day at 31.75, or down 6.07%. So again, it wasn't a bad day, but it goes to show, even though we reported really good earnings, the price still dropped today. But when we look at, for example, a deeper dive into what actually took place today, we can see that there were 758 million buy orders versus 796. So again, one of the red days that they dominated the, I guess, the buy sell ratio, as I've explained before, alluded to before. That is not the normal case for AMC. Normally, it is buys outweighing the sells. But that's just kind of a quick update. More to come, being that we are towards our level of support. We would expect a positive momentum day tomorrow, or an upward trend. As if we do not, just so you guys have both case scenarios. Again, I like to give you guys plenty of data so you can make educated decisions. So if we were to break past this level of support at the 31.75, our next level we would be looking at is the 25.34. So again, just to recap, or just in case, if we do break past this line of support, we would look to our floor to be 25.34. If we broke 25.34, we would be somewhere in the vicinity, I think it was $18. Yeah, around the 18.59 mark, where we would next find a level of support. Again, I don't anticipate that happening. My prediction is more a push to the upside, just based on fundamentals, to bring in some indicators so we can see how they are doing. Looking at the MACD, again, we're getting close to converging. Looking at the RSI, we are very, very close to oversold, which again should give us a good push towards the upside. But in either case, at least you guys kind of know what to expect when it comes to AMC tomorrow and the trade action tomorrow. But nonetheless, let's get into what I actually wanted to focus on today. So in one of the early videos I had made in relation to moving averages, I had explained to you guys a moving average is nothing more than the average price of a stock over a certain period of time, right? For me specifically, I do 50-day, 100-day, 200-day, 300-day, and I have those labeled here. Green is 50, 100 is yellow, 200 is orange, 300 is red. Now, you don't have to use my specific color patterns. These are just the ones that I like, kind of like green, caution, be careful, red. Like, to kind of give an impression of how I view when a stock hits these levels, right? You could easily do any other 4 colors you want. That's honestly your preference. But now another thing we can look for in moving averages specifically are something called a golden cross or a death cross. So I know those kind of seem sketchy names, right? Doesn't really make sense why they would have names like that in the stock market, but they make sense, right? So a golden cross is anytime a shorter moving average, for example, is 50, is shorter than 100, 200, etc. When a shorter moving average crosses over a longer moving average, that is an indication of a golden cross or a pattern in the moving averages, right? So what does that mean? Normally in a golden cross situation, anytime a shorter moving average crosses over a longer one, what you get after that is a run up in price. So as we see here, the 50 crossed over the 100, 200, 300, and immediately what do we see in the stock chart? A move up in price. Now, please also pay attention. I'm using the 1 day, 1 year chart. You would not want to look for these patterns in shorter intervals, as in shorter intervals, they cross each other all the time, right? But in the longer time frames, as you can tell, this doesn't happen as often, which has more weight when you're looking at a chart. But a good way to kind of identify when a stock will go up or when a stock will go down is by looking for this specific pattern in the chart, which again, when a shorter one crosses a longer one, it's a golden cross. When a shorter one crosses down past a longer one, it is a death cross. So kind of just to get in the chart to just show you some various examples, we're going to just pick stocks at random. Here is Tesla. Again, this is the 1 day chart. As you can see here, the green crossed down past the yellow, which is 100. So the 50 crossed down past the 100. And what do we see in the price action immediately after? The price fell. Here, it looks like we're getting ready to cross a shorter crossing over the 100 and 200, which again would be a golden cross scenario, in which case we would expect the price to run up, right? So this is another example in Tesla. Let's go to Facebook. See if we have any golden crosses or death crosses. Look, what do we have here? The 50 crossing over the 100. What do we see in the price? A dip in price. It dipped all the way to the 200-day moving average and then went back up. As soon as the 50 crossed back over the 100, it was a golden cross scenario. And what do we have? A climb in price. So that's Tesla. Let's look at Amazon. So right here, what do we see? The 50 crossing over the 100, immediately a dip in price, crossed back up over it, shot up in price. We crossed down again, and then we have a major dip in price. When we crossed over the 100 and 200 is when we took the major dip. When we crossed above them for the golden cross, the price shoots up. So again, that's another example. Let's just pick another random one. Let's see, Microsoft. Microsoft doesn't have any crosses that I can see. Oh, we have one right here, actually. So 50 crossing over the 100, what do we see? A dip in price. When we crossed above it, afterwards, the golden cross. And what do we have? A rise in price. Here, let's go down the list. Actually, don't mind watch list. Let's see. Random. Let's see. What do we got? Give me a good one. NIO. NIO is an EV company out of China. So here we go. 50 crossing below the 100. And what do we have? A fall in price. 50 crossing over 100 that just occurred within a couple days. So we should expect a rise in price. Again, this is very simple to look for, but yet very effective in trying to determine what a stock will do in its price action based on its moving averages alone. Skill is a tech company for gaming. Let's see here. So here we have a death cross, 50 crossing over the 100, and what do we see in the price? A dip in price. Actually crossed over the 200 as well. We had another little recession, but let's see. Now that the 50 is about to get to the point of crossing over to the 100 and the 200, we should see a rise in price. Being that this stock is down towards the floor at 1187 compared to where it used to be at 4630, that would be a good indication that this price may run up. And you can mix it up too. You don't just have to base it solely on moving averages. I'm just trying to give you guys a better visual. Looking at the MACD, pay attention as well when you get these death crosses, where we are in the chart in MACD and RSI, and that gives you a better indication of patterns you can look for moving forward, right? Let's do two more. We already did AMC. Here, XBI is a mortgage company. Here we go. 50 crossing over 100 and a 200. And what do we have? We have a major dip in price all the way to the 300-day moving average. We got to the point of converging over, or we did converge over, excuse me, for a golden cross opportunity. And what do we have? An immediate rise in price. Let's see. Coupang. This is the one that just did earnings. Well, this one just actually started. We can't do this example with this one, but let's see what else we got. Here, we can do one of the ARCs. ARCs is something I follow a lot. So again, looking at the moving averages, you see they were parallel throughout this run up to 191. Looks like April, we had a death cross where the 50 crossed over the 100, and what do we see immediately after? A fall in price action. Here we are where they have just converged. You see the 50 crossing over the 100 and soon to cross over the 200. So what can we expect? We can expect a rise in price. Let's see. One more just to solidify this point. Open just had earnings as well, or is about to have earnings, I think, tomorrow. But we can see this is a newer company. Again, this is a mortgage company, all online, so you can literally buy a house all online. View it, see it, buy it, right? So it's got a lot of good things. If you haven't looked into Open, I recommend you definitely do look into it. It does have a lot of potential. But nonetheless, as you can see here, the 50-day moving average crossing over the 100, and what do we have? A fall in price. We also did cross over the 200, and the price continued to run. Now our 50 is below our 100 and 200-day moving average. So when these converge over, we can expect, once again, a run-up in price, being that it was at an all-time high of $39.24, and currently it's in the $14, $15 range. Again, that gives you a lot of opportunity to identify that the price would or will potentially run up. Last one, DraftKings. So DraftKings is been pretty consistent of a runner, going up, trending up, not really so much to the downside. But again, just to solidify our point, we see here that the 50-day moving average crossed over the 100-day moving average for a death cross. What do we have? We have a fall in price. Now that we are getting to the point where we are crossing over to the upside, so when the 50 crosses over the 100 and 200-day moving average, again, we can expect a run-up in price. They recently just had some news as well, in case you guys didn't know. They actually acquired Golden Nugget Online Gaming recently in a merger deal, so they bought them out. So again, it's giving them more exposure to more states to do online gaming, or gambling, if you will. So you would expect, or I would expect specifically with DraftKings, for this price to run up, on top of the fact of this golden cross opportunity we're about to get. But again, different stocks do different things. It depends what you're looking for, or what you're studying, or what industry you're in, right? But the point, I think you guys get the point. Paying attention to fundamentals and technical analysis specifically will help you in the long run. I wanted to keep it short, guys. I know some of my other videos have been a little longer, but again, please like and subscribe to the channel, as it does help when trying to get my videos viewed by more people. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. Something specific you want to see, drop a comment. I'll make sure I get that video out for you guys so you guys can continue learning. Other than that, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one.